Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by GeneralsJoes.com, with me as your host, Chris, some assembly definitely required McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Joining me to discuss Assembly Required 2018, the upcoming Joe-centric convention in Iowa in November, is con organiser Brian Sauer. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this news burst. On the 10th of November, a G.I. Joe focused convention called Assembly Required will be taking over Gravitate in Des Moines, Iowa. The show boasts some superb dealers, incredible exclusive product, informative panels, creative customs, awesome cosplay, fantastic guests, and so much more. We have managed to get con organiser Brian on the show tonight to talk us through what we can expect at this year's convention. Thank you for jumping on, Brian. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. You've been doing this show now for a while now. What made you decide on running a con in the first place?
I don't know as much as it's running a con or as the con is running me. It was a friend of a Joe guy I met online, did some trades with, found out local guy. We sat down, started having some coffee. Steve Kelting, as some of you guys may know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were just, we'd go meet up, have coffee, talk about it, and one day he was like, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do our own little, G.I. Joe meetup?" And I'm like, "Well, you do know, part of what I do for a living is organize events and put on events and do this kind of stuff." And so over that couple cups of coffee or whatever it was, it kind of came about as, well, let's try this out and see what happens. So what started off as what we would consider as just a little meetup in the back of a local comic book shop has now grown into, I don't know, a full-fledged, mediocre kind of medium-sized.
It's a brilliant show. It's a brilliant show.
Yes. Okay, we'll say a humble show then. How about that? A humble little show.
You can call it a humble little show, but I must admit, in terms of quality, there's just so much there that you can really take from. The show has a feeling that I haven't sensed for the show has this feeling about it. Kate, my wife Kate, obviously you know Kate.
Yep.
She had been to the show before a couple of times, I believe, and she always used to talk about it. So, you need to go to Assembly Required. It's really, really cool. Everyone who's everyone in the Joe community does go there as well. Like everyone that we tend to like and get on with. Mm-hmm. And it's just, it's just one of those shows that I didn't really fully understand until I actually went to the show. And honestly, it was great. I mean, it's not like, the size of JoeCon, and it's not it's only one day, and it's not the size of maybe some of the other kind of, like Joe Fest, for example, or something along those lines. But what it does have, and this is kind of like something that is, I don't know, unless you go, you can't really feel it. The quality is just unbelievable. The panels, the exclusive product, which we'll get onto a little bit later, the guests, the the cosplay, the customs, everything that I mentioned in the intro, it's just so well put together. It's really well run, and obviously you've got loads of amazing dealers there with loads of good stuff. All right, so how many have you done up to this point now? How many Assembly Required has there been?
We've got 7 under our belt right now. This will be year 8 for this one. Yeah, and so you talk about the feeling of it, and that was something that we were very, very adamant about. Was we didn't want this to be a high pressure, high stakes kind of show where everybody's got to make sure they get this in and do that, and make sure they get in line for all the exclusives and hurries up and gobbles up all this stuff, and pressure. We wanted to slow it back down and just kind of enjoy it. This is literally that day, that Saturday you had when you were 11 years old, and you would get with your buddies and you'd pull out your Joe stuff and you guys would play for a few hours, then you'd talk Transformers, go eat lunch, come back at it. that's what we wanted to create, that big sense of like nostalgia, childhood, and having fun again with your toys.
It definitely succeeded in that, I must admit. When I was there, there's just that pace, that slower pace is great. But not just that, there are other things that go on before and after the show as well, which again I'm sure you'll come on to when we get discussing it. But things like the meetup the night before and the dinner the night before that a lot of guys go to and hang out, and it's great. And then you have the show, and then that night there's another kind of go out and enjoy Des Moines. And this is another thing as well, like the venue. Obviously, when I was there last year, it's changed now. You've gone to a different venue.
Yes.
But the venue we were at last time was just gorgeous. I mean, loads of glass, loads of light coming in and everything. So it felt really it just felt nice and uplifting and really nice. And yeah, the area is really, really kind of, I don't know, there's just something really nice about the area that it's in with the statue park and all that stuff. So the new venue is Gravitate, right?
Correct. Yes, it's a co-working space actually that is kind of a client of mine, but they're moving into a brand new space. I think when we get in there, they may have occupied it for maybe an entire week at the point where we're going to get in on it. But it also, again, lots of glass, lots of natural light,
lovely,
open and airy. We're a little closer to the heart of downtown.
Oh, brilliant.
But we're less than a block away from the recommended hotel.
Oh, fantastic.
So
fantastic.
It is really, really super close. Yeah. And the new space has afforded us a couple new things we can do. It's a little hard to judge how well it's going to work because, well, I was down there just earlier the Monday and there's still drywall being put up and everything like that. But
Roma Collectibles are still breaking their setup down.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But we've got a couple things that the space is going to allow us to do that we haven't been able to do before that we've kind of had a desire to do.
Yeah.
So one thing is that Joe Customs is getting much more space in the middle of things, because that always is something that everybody is talking about. And those guys always bring something fun to do.
Yeah.
It gives it something to, break up and everything. And I know they're working on a couple surprises along with some of the, bringing the scrap pieces so people could build their own Joes, doing demonstrations and classes.
Awesome.
And then possibly a contest or two in there too. And then the other thing we're going to do, so the show technically starts at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is we're going to do a 9 a.m. serial and cartoons.
Oh, wicked.
So as long as the AV equipment is installed, and if it's not, I'll still bring a projector.
Yeah.
But literally, we're going to try to squeeze in 3 episodes of Joe.
Oh, one of those is going to have to be an Action Force overdub, isn't it?
Yes, that's a brilliant idea. Yes,
just to ruin everyone's day, we'll slip in an Action Force episode, and I'll pick it and I'll send it to you. Oh my God, there's some absolute beauties to watch.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Yes. Because and we'll have a cereal bar, and everybody come up, grab a bowl, grab a choice of cereal.
That's brilliant.
Just sit down and watch a little cartoons before the show kicks off while some of the vendors.
That could be the most popular thing at an event ever. It'd be like, should we have really expensive breakfast at the hotel, or should we go get cereal and watch cartoons for an hour? I think I know what I'm going to be doing.
Exactly it. Well, and I just it's like I said, it's that whole capturing that whole feel of it again. There's nothing like that idea of I am going to watch some classic cartoons, and then I am just going to have fun and run around for the day with my friends.
Okay, so something that really, really I really loved about the show that I was at last year was the themes that you guys always put on. And obviously last year was Action Force, so thank you for that, by the way. What's it going to be for this one? The image running through this video might be a bit of a giveaway, but if you could explain the theme for this year, please.
Yeah, it's kind of a 1988 more Tiger Force theme. It was just something that was fun. And the idea was kind of for the visual, the poster, and what we're kind of working on for the creative was Tiger Force never got to see their day in the cartoon.
Yeah.
So kind of imagined what it would have looked like to see a animated Tiger Force team.
Awesome.
So it's kind of the riff we did on the poster, and will be on some of the materials, and I'm sure there'll be a souvenir poster that'll be available done that same way. And I noticed that there's been a few comments online about missing 2 key Tiger Force personnel, which will be represented in the souvenir poster.
Fantastic.
So yep, they weren't forgotten about so much as ran out of room for them. Plus the idea of a snow guy dressed in jungle tiger camouflage out in the jungle, like just.
Hey, it's Sunbow, Brian. Anything is possible in Sunbow world.
It is totally possible. So yes, but no, that will be rectified in the some of the show materials and things of that nature. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's just something that is so, like, as a adult, I more and more appreciate some of these tangents that the Hasbro crew went on in the development of the toy line. And so this one happens to be an adult favorite of mine, which is great because now we get to pull out all the vintage Tiger Force memorabilia and things, and then also get to explore what the club has done with the Tiger Force as well.
Yeah, totally. And and also what Europe has done.
Absolutely, what Europe has done.
That's awesome. I mean, could you take us through the guests you've got lined up this year?
It's kind of funny because I feel like it's nothing special, but I know a lot of people have a great fondness for Ron Wagner, who was one of the illustrators on the G.I. Joe comic book. I believe he kind of came in around issue 62, 63, and kind of stuck around on and off, but he did a lot of covers. And probably the one thing that, people may not recognize his name for, but remember the issue, is the yearbook number 3, which was also a silent issue that featured Snake Eyes, Scarlet, and Storm Shadow, which was just solid work by Ron. And then later on, he'd come in and do some fill-in issues for IDW, do some covers. I think he actually worked on a one-shot or a yearbook again for IDW. And I know he's got a new project he's working on with Larry Hama.
Awesome.
That I believe it's not Joe-related, but it is pretty kind of cool historical piece. And I think he has been kind of slowly teasing out posts on his Facebook and Twitter and Instagram about that. And I'm trying to talk him into bringing a few pages along with him to show off to everybody. So
that'd be awesome. That's great.
Bring on a sneak peek. Oh, he is also working on a unique piece of art for the show this year. I can't say much about it, but it is unique, and I believe the idea or the deal is that we will probably be giving away the original at the raffle.
Fantastic.
So not to overshadow everybody else, because yes, we do have a lot of fun folks coming in. We're going to have the Tiger Hawks finest out of Kansas City.
Yeah, complete with Kate McLeod as well.
Yes, well, she was just going to be her own special guest.
Oh, okay, of course.
But those guys will be showing up. I believe they're bringing in a new set piece a set piece that has very rarely been seen.
Oh my God.
Yep. I don't want to say what it is because in case something goes wrong and we can't do it. But yeah, it'll definitely be worth it. It's always worth it when those guys show up.
Oh, it certainly is. Yeah.
So fun.
Next
they bring a whole
level
of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw Josh as well doing his Tiger Force painting trousers and everything, like, because I'm guessing it's going to be tunnel rat, but obviously because that's what he does, tunnel rat, but I'm very excited to see what they've got planned. That looks amazing.
Yes, I'm excited too, because I know I think the whole crew is planning on doing Tiger Force.
Damn.
The styles of it. So yeah, I think there's a lot of Tiger Force in the works for everybody. I think we mentioned Joe Customs already. Those guys will be there with the workshops and
awesome.
Everything going on. Who else do we have? Oh, you. In fact, you're going to be there.
Yeah, I'm going to be there
yes.
doing a panel like I did last year.
Yep, doing a panel and talking about your new endeavor.
Oh
Right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I will do a separate thing for that because yeah, I mean I can talk about it here, but yes, I will at the show. I'll do a panel on the RoboSkull. So I'll be kind of talking Action Force and all that kind of jazz. But I'll be there with a different company, a company that I've started with some friends and colleagues in the UK. We're basically developed an app called Hoarder, which is a social collecting kind of network for collectors. So basically, we'll be kind of putting that. We'll be explaining what that is at the table at the show. But in terms of the panel, it will be strictly Action Force. And yeah, just a quick aside as to what that is all about. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And thank you for that, by the way, Brian. I appreciate it.
I just need more reminders of how bad my addiction is to all this stuff.
Amazing.
Yes, yes. What else do we have going on? Joe D Class will be showing up. Those guys, again, I mean, Joe Customs and Joe D Class have been supporters of AR from the very get-go.
Yeah.
And these guys have really brung it every year, and they always bring something unique and have some fun. So, for rumor has it that D-Class panel they'll be presenting will be talking about Tiger Force. So
awesome.
We'll get to hear and see and hopefully feel and touch and smell some of the what do we want to call them? Artifacts from that era.
Are you talking about Pat Stewart?
Yeah. Well, I think the smelly one is Chris Murray.
Oh,
but
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. You can smell Chris Murray and you can touch and feel Pat.
Pat.
He loves that.
Yeah. Yeah. But Chris just smells like old toys. I really ask him all the time, where does he get that cologne from?
Just rubs himself around his garage, that kind of thing, right?
That wonderful mold and old basement smell. Like, man, can't beat that. I think that kind of sums up the majority of like what we know we have going on. There's things that always happen. Always looking, it's fun because we always seem to get some kind of cool last minute things in.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for some of that stuff. One thing that we do that is always talked about every year is the kids hunt. Yeah. I guess is the way to go. Where the kids
we hunt for kids.
Yes, you hunt for kids. You collect them all. Basically, what happens is your kids who are under 12 years old get to come in and they are handed a kind of an old school, what looks like a mission sheet that you used to get out of the boxes.
Awesome.
And they've got a few tasks to finish out. They got to scramble. I think we got to connect the dots this year.
So cool.
And then they get to go around and collect battle ribbons from the different vendors and guests.
That's brilliant.
They have to ask questions, Joe-related questions, and they collect all their battle ribbons, come back to headquarters, which is going to be the registration table. If everything is filled out and turned in, we give them a box of loot.
Oh, that's so cool.
In the past, and I'm not making any guarantees again this year, but in the past, we've had everything from, and it's usually quite a substantial little kind of booty they run away with there. They get usually some comic books and some buttons and different action figures and stuff like that.
A Defiant, a flag.
Yes.
3 RoboSkulls of each.
There was one year we gave out vehicles, which was pretty awesome. So, but yeah, we make it fun for the kids and the kids to go around and do stuff and ask and actually interact and be a part of this. I think what happens in a lot of the other conventions is the kids are tag-alongs. Or they collect all the exclusives for the adults. And we wanted to make sure that the kids were actually a focus here, and we wanted to make sure that they were able to experience something that we experienced in our childhood and have that same kind of fun and reveal and excitement that we got from doing that kind of stuff. And so it is a lot of fun to see that, and it's great to talk to everybody afterwards and find out what was the best question you got, what was the craziest question, because of course you get some of the typical stuff, but you get some pretty unique questions, like people want to know, what was your first G.I. Joe? People want to know, who was your 37th favorite G.I. Joe? Like things that are like not what you expect to hear. And it's a great way to get them to engage in the hobby and engage with everybody around. So
What's funny is that you see them all running around playing or whatever and enjoying it. I know a lot of them are coming with like say mums and dads that are into it, and kind of you see Ben and his kids turn up, and they're already kind of into it, but it's still really nice to see them playing with the toys and doing all that stuff and running around trying to get these ribbons and stuff. It's just really, really neat. I may even try and get in on that myself. I'll just pretend to be a child. I've done well so far. Okay. So other than my panel that I've already talked about, what are you going to be having at the show, Brian? I know there's a finest panel, is there?
No, actually, we're not we are not doing a finest panel this year. The other panel, we're only doing 2 panels this year because of the size of the customs room. Okay. And doing some other stuff.
Wow, I feel honored then. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. But we are gonna. It'll be D class. We'll be doing the other panel.
Awesome. So it's me and Pat and Chris.
Yes,
running
exactly.
the panels.
Yes,
that's cool. I do love the panels and I do love doing them and everything. But I must admit, when you've got the day there, right. I mean, if you've got panels running all day long, you want to see them all. But at the same time, that's taking you away from all the other cool stuff that's going on as well. So yeah, I totally understand the decision on that one. But that's great. I mean, D-Class as well, their panels are so good.
Oh yeah.
If anyone's on the fence about going to see them at the show, then just go, because they're always so informative and interesting. Okay, so in on top of that, you always have amazing exclusive product that you guys put together. And I know that you obviously do a lot of the work for this as well, if not all of it. But kind of like the print work is always top notch. The little pin badge sets that you do and the prints and everything. It's just all really, really quality. What kind of stuff have you got for this particular show? And again, is it one of those things where you're still working on it, going right up to the day type thing?
Oh yeah, we still owe. I mean, yeah, it is a constant kind of churn on that stuff. Yeah, I will be working on that. Not necessarily like in a panic, but like I will continue to come up with ideas until I absolutely run out of time.
Yeah. Of course.
So right now we've got 2 posters. I don't know if, one is obviously based on the creative for this year, which is the Tiger Force cartoon stuff. Yeah. There was a series we did, I believe it was our 3rd or 4th year, where we did a series of posters that featured the 4 jets, the 4 primary jets from G.I. Joe. So you had a Sky Striker, a Rattler, a Conquest, and a Night Raven. Yeah. Yes. Well, the obvious thing is to redo the poster and turn it into a Tiger Rat. So we are going to have a Tiger Rat print that will match the other 4 prints from earlier of the Tiger Rat. So
that's nice.
It was one of those things where I thought about it long enough and talked about it, and then I don't know, I must have been drunk one night and just did it.
Just done it, not realized.
Because I came back and I was like, hey, I should really look into this. And I had done it. It just magically appeared on my computer. So,
do you press the Photoshop button? Obviously.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Please Tiger Force this for me. Yes. It's a plug-in, actually. But yeah. So we're doing that. We've got another 2-figure set we're working on with Marauders.
So you haven't revealed that yet?
No, and actually, this might be the first time we're confirming it.
Exclusive!
Yes. And that's about all I can say about those, is just that it's going to be another 2 figures.
Brilliant.
Kind of plays a little bit into the theme, plays a little bit into our geographic location, so should be fun.
Just a quick question on that. Are you going to be doing the same style packaging where you've got the 2 boxes kind of connect to each other? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
There was it Grim Skull and Don't Tell Me. Oh, I had it then. It's like, is it a bird name?
It is a bird name. It's the Iowa State bird. The Iowa.
I've completely forgotten the name of the. Yeah, go on, tell me.
Goldfinch.
I knew that. I'm an idiot. Yeah, but I love those 2 figures. They're great. And I had them out recently because I was taking pictures for my new app, and and just remembered how and when I got them out, I was like, oh my god, the packaging just is so good. Like that's something as well that is like so. It's not always done with exclusive, kind of that level of exclusive at these kind of regional shows. So to be able to kind of pull through like a really nice packaging that works, yeah, that was spot on, I think, dude.
Yes. Well, I mean, and there's some criticism to the, like these are marauder figures. Well, they are, but we definitely make them our own, and we definitely the packaging is makes
Oh
them
yeah,
distinct,
totally. Yeah,
and we want to make sure that we do have that, that it does stand out. It's quality. I mean, we're not. I'm not interested in putting out a inferior product in anything I do. So I want
yeah.
to make sure that, yeah, everything from the posters to the T-shirts to the exclusive figures is put together the best that I know how. Which I just happen to, one of my jobs is to design packaging, so it
Yeah.
just kind of plays into what I do. And yeah, and just being fortunate enough to know all my vendors and being able to do it and get it pulled off the way I would like it to.
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to those two. I'll be definitely down for a set of those. Uh, I'll get there at 8 o'clock in the morning just to make sure I get those to play with them before I have my breakfast whilst
There
watching
you go.
cartoons. Are you doing another pin badge set as well?
The buttons are probably not going to happen this year.
I
But
suppose because you've already done Tiger Force on
yeah,
two different versions of them as well, haven't you?
yeah, we've done the minimalist stuff with the Tiger Force, and as in one of the years, which those will still be available. I think there's still some sets left. And then we did the whole UK or the
Europe.
international
Yeah.
series last year. So I'm thinking some type of sticker set.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be really cool.
So working with one of my guys right now to figure out kind of what's the best thing we can do. What's the most what can we do to give the most value and just give everybody a kind of a really kick-ass kind of sticker set that would people would be proud to have of their Joe stuff.
That'd be really nice. Oh man, I'd love to see a little sticker set. That'd be really cool.
Yes.
Okay. Well, talking of product and kind of sticking
Mm-hmm.
with that kind of that level. There are going to be a lot of dealers there, as always. Could you take us through who's going to be there at the show?
Yeah. Raging Spoon will be there.
Raging Spoon and his complex building system.
Complex, yes. And I think I've already told them that, expect I will be buying a box.
I know. I need to go.
Yeah.
Mine's in front of me right now, built in full. Like I've used every single piece from every single set that I got in that builder set. And I already need like I don't know, those builder sets were great, but there was not enough in them. I need probably about 10 of those sets. It's going to cost me an absolute. I mean, I might as well buy a house for that money.
Right.
But
well, it is a house.
I will be living in it.
So,
I'll be living in it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But we're excited to have those guys again. They came up, they made the trek last year, and I believe everybody had a great time.
Oh yeah.
And no, we're super excited to have the complex. And like I said, if nothing else, I'm just going to be happy just to keep buying them.
Oh, totally.
All day long.
It's like a really good way for you guys to avoid shipping costs,
yeah.
isn't it? You just
Exactly.
you just get them to come and sell their stuff, and then you just buy all of their stock. Done.
Yes,
it's worth it that way. That's amazing.
Yes. Nova will be back. Brian
Great.
Kaufman will be back with his table of wares and goods. Oh, returning to the fray after being absent for a little while is Jay's CD and Hobby,
Cool.
local shop here that has just an incredible amount of toys, like ridiculous amount of toys.
Brilliant.
Just the amount of Joe stuff he has, the amount of Star Wars, just everything he has is just, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
To go there actually, and I know this from experience, it'll give you a headache. Sometimes digging through it all, but he will be there with tables of his Joe things. And then something really cool and unique is happening this year. A few guys are bringing in their private collections to sell off.
Wow. Okay.
So whether it's excessive pieces they have or things they're just trying to pare down on, and me included.
Yeah.
I plan on setting up and getting rid of, not really getting rid of. I'm just trying to make room for new and more stuff. But actually, I think right now, 3 or 4 folks are planning on doing this. So
there's going to be a lot of stuff there, basically, isn't there? There's going to be a lot of stuff to buy.
Yes, it is.
You're going to have to be there early as well, I think, just to make sure you get, some really, really cool pieces there too. I think they'll be snapped up pretty fast, as well, knowing the crowd that are going to be there as well.
But yeah, and we're working on it. So we're trying to get everybody represented, everything from 12-inch to modern. We got one dealer. We're still waiting to hear back on if he's going to come and fully represent 12-inch, and hopefully we'll get him in there. And if that happens, that means we've got every era covered, which is what we want to do. I think a lot of people, we talk a lot of vintage stuff because that's kind of just right in my age range and everything.
Yeah.
But there is a fond appreciation for G.I. Joe in every and any form.
Yeah.
In there, and it's great.
I was going to say you're
coming together.
You're probably vintage now, aren't you, Brian?
Actually, vintage, modern. I've got my fair share of 12-inch. Vintage stuff. I do the modern 12-inch stuff. I've been known to buy a couple of the club sets. So.
I picked up those black and white ones. I thought they were really cool, like the grayscale ones.
Beautiful.
I thought they were so and so under the radar as well. Like, I feel like hardly anybody really kind of talked about them or anything. I always loved that the rubber wetsuit on the diver is hilarious. Like but it's really cool, and I love is it the marine? I think it is, like with all the parachute gear on. Like
no, that's the Army. That's the But no, I only got the marine because I have a vintage 64 marine in box.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to have those two in my setup at home because I just thought that's just going to be gorgeous.
They're amazing. Really well done on that. Yeah, I was really, really happy with those. Okay, so let's talk about ticket prices and like door stuff. So if people are coming up to the show for the day with the kids or whatever, what the prices for tickets?
They're ridiculous. They're absolutely
$2,000.
Yes.
For kids.
We just sell one ticket for $5,000 and we're good. So be the first one in line. No, it's absolutely free.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's a free show to attend. There you go.
Free. Just show up.
Just turn up and come, because it is. Like, honestly, it is an amazing, amazing show.
And for that price of entry, you get automatically entered into the grand prize drawing at the end of the day.
Cool.
In the past, I'm not going to tell you what we're giving away this year, but in the past, we have given away a couple consets.
Yeah.
We've given away a RoboSkull.
Yeah.
We've given away a seal contents boxed whale before.
Wow.
So
and more importantly, a Diagnostic 8T you gave away once to I remember Greg Schuler won it last year. A Baron Ironblood t-shirt designed by me. Yes. And Greg Schuler, who had already got that t-shirt, by the way, won it. And what was funny about it was I said to him, just give it back. I'll take that one in, and I'll send you a different one of your choice. So he did actually get something that he did need in the end. But I just thought it was brilliant how Greg won that, and he's already got that t-shirt, and it's like that is all, how does that even happen? But anyway, carry on.
It's awesome. So we have the grand prize raffle at the end of the day.
Brilliant.
But throughout the day, you can buy raffle tickets to win other prizes, and they are, it's just a whole wild, it's like things, I know we've got a SDCC Cobra Command missile set. And those G.I. Joe sweatshirts, I believe we have those in every size for everybody.
Cool.
We're going to have probably some of the FSS subscription figures. We'll have a assortment of vintage figures or vehicles to give away. We'll have comic books and art and drawings and stuff. So, yeah, basically what it comes down to is the reason why, or how we keep the show free, is through the sale of the exclusives and through the raffle tickets.
Yeah.
And honestly, I understand that there's the end of JoeCon has left a void in the hobby, but we're not setting out to recreate or replace JoeCon in any uncertain way. I mean, if you really want to, we'll set up some lines so everybody can stand, they can relive their JoeCon experiences.
Just get loads of cardboard cutouts of people and line them up outside, and if you want, you can just kind of stand in and around them. That'd be great.
Right.
That's amazing. Is there any other stuff you want to talk about? Any other bits and pieces about the show you want to mention before we go, Brian?
Yeah. Oh, the big thing, Friday. So you mentioned it early on about Friday getting together, having a dinner.
Yes.
It's always kind of been informal.
Yeah.
We're formalizing it this year. Last year we had so many people show up totally overran the restaurant. So this year we got a room, we got a place.
Nice. I told you to get a room. I told you and Steve to get a room last time.
I know. Everybody says that. But we've got we're going to be at Centro Restaurant, and it's going to be $25, and
Wow.
dinner is taken care of.
Awesome.
You just have to pay for your own drinks, and we will be having probably RSVP going up and ticket buying Friday, I'm thinking.
Cool.
So probably by October, what is this? 3rd, 4th, 5th. By October 5th, we should be live with that.
Brilliant.
We just talked about it, and we just felt like it was just easier for everybody.
Yeah,
just you know what?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, as much as we enjoyed it, when we got there, it's just kind of we were just chatting and hanging out for a while, which isn't a bad thing at all. But we were there for ages, weren't we, before we sat down?
yeah. And so let's just got a place. We got could hold up to 50 people. So come on in, sit down. Like I said, we don't have to worry about dinner. It's taken care of. It'll be a eat what you want, smorgasbord type thing, or whatever you call it, buffet.
Yeah, I prefer smorgasbord. That's much funnier.
Yes, and includes dessert in there, and
wow.
Yeah, it's just going to be but the real thing is so we have our places to park our butts. We don't have to wait half hour, 45 minutes for drinks, and we all can get in and enjoy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean that is a fun aspect of this show, the Friday night, and then also the Saturday night. I loved the Saturday night so much because we ended up going to is it called Up Down or the Up Down?
Up Down.
Up Down. And
Up Down. Yeah.
What an awesome bar. I mean, it's just
don't get zombie burgers before that.
Oh, zombie burger as well. And then you see Ron Wagner's art everywhere, like in not just in Zombie Burger, but everywhere in Des Moines. Just everywhere you walk, you see graffiti that he's done. You see. You'll see like a mural up there.
He's kind of fallen on hard times lately. So yeah, he's just he's sitting on this quarter drawing pictures for
just everything. Yeah, he just literally everywhere. Wagner is everywhere. Just drawing on people's cars.
Yeah.
No, but I love that about the show as well. And there's that again, like I mentioned it at the beginning, but that feeling is just you don't find that. I mean, okay, I'm not to down any other cons because they all have something about them. Obviously, like I love the Ohio Toy and Comic Show. I love like CoilCon, who we spoke to Mike and John the other day, I think 2 days ago, yesterday even, and like Joe Fest, which looks like it's going to be massive again next year, and all these other kind of conventions around that. Sorry for not mentioning everyone, but there are a lot of you now. They all have different things about them that make them really fun, but you always come away satisfied from these cons. I do anyway. But the Assembly Required one is something very unique, just like there is with all those other cons, but there's something very unique about this show. And it's the people, the feeling, and all of the fun stuff in and around the show as well that I really enjoyed. And even breakfast on the Sunday morning as well. So if you're staying over, we do the kind of breakfast thing too. So again, I do recommend this very, very highly, and not just because Brian is on the call with me right now.
I love honesty.
Yeah. Well, you paid me to say this, so
that's exactly it. Exactly. All the free cereal, all the cereal you want to eat on Saturday morning.
Wait. I can't wait for that. That's going to be my favorite part, I think. That is brilliant. Okay, well, any other elements to talk about, Brian?
Man, I don't know. I just say, you want to take a chance, just take a drive. Like I said, it's free. It's just going to be, we just want to have fun again with our toys.
Yeah.
Not that we're not having fun, but it's all about just enjoying what it's, the childhood memories, what it's brought. And, the fact that I've got, this hobby has brought so many friends from so many different parts of the world.
Yeah.
And it's great. You can't beat it. So
you will not be disappointed. Trust us. You will not be disappointed.
Yes. One more thing. I forgot to say this. We just launched our new website.
Awesome.
This time it's 100% Viagra free. Or Cialis free.
If you go to your email account, guys, go to your spam folders And it's basically, the link is in the Viagra email, the most recent one. Or I think there's a prince in South Africa or something trying to contact you. But carry on.
Our old site got hacked, and every time we try to fix it, it just kept on getting hacked. So this year we've just gone ahead and completely redesigned it, reprogrammed it, and launched it yesterday. So all the information, updates, and everything can be found on the website or by going to Facebook, Codename Iowa.
What's the website?
CodenameIowa.com.
Perfect. That's the other thing. I love the fact that, it's called Assembly Required. But it just like with the card backs, and like when you used to read the kind of like the G.I. Joe as they were kind of presented, it would always be like the name or their specialty, code name, and then whatever. So I love how you guys have done that, like in a I just love that kind of aspect of it too. So codenameiowa.com. And obviously Codename Iowa on Facebook. We'll put all those links in this video as well, so you guys can just go down to YouTube underneath the Facebook video as well. We'll have the links in there too, on Podbean, iTunes and Stitcher. You will not be able to miss any of these links. Brian, thank you so much for jumping on and talking about Assembly Required 2018, Codename Iowa. Really appreciate it. And can't wait for November to enjoy it.
I appreciate you having me on. This is good.
Anytime, man, anytime. We'll also be keeping you updated with Codename Iowa /Assembly Required as we lead on up to it. So any kind of updates coming through, check our Facebook page and Twitter as well, as Codename Iowa will be, reposting and resharing all their stuff. So that's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Thank you to my wonderful guest Brian from Assembly Required. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of these platforms with feedback, questions, or to say, who do you think you are? A serious operation now? No, not even close. Look out for more of these news bursts that we are posting on the Facebook page from now on. Full Force.